Y'all know the face, y'all know the name. Y'all tune into the world's greatest podcast. I don't just say it because it sounds good and looks good on the shirts. I honestly, truly believe it. You are tuned into Talk Ain't Cheap podcast. I got a lot of special people here with me, so I'm gonna let them introduce themselves because I have this thing that if I introduce them, I shortchange them. So, who wants to go first?
Alright, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Jaron. Your boy went to UB 2012. I was at Buff State first. Freshman year, Buff State, fall. Transferred to UB, left there, football player, all that, down here in Atlanta, living my dream.
It's your boy Caleb Vaughn, DJ Soap 92, everywhere that social media is. Graduated from the University of Buffalo as well. I did my whole college career at UB, actually. A lot of people did a transfer and everything like that. UB the whole way. Now I'm down here in Atlanta I'm actually in grad school now. I'm done so much, always doing a whole lot. So, yeah, man. I'm glad to be on the show.
Man, so where do y'all want to start, man? Because the title of this episode is UB and ATL. And I think that's a dope concept because y'all from Rochester. And I know, like, when we was upstate, a lot of people used to give y'all a lot of slack because y'all sound like y'all from the South.
Oh, yeah,
in New York.
Yeah, listen, I be trying to tell people, like, yo, our accent basic. And I already know, y'all from the city, son. So, like, y'all accent crazy because y'all a melting pot, so y'all got your own little accent. But the accent down here, well, you really got to find it in Atlanta because a lot of people ain't really from Atlanta. But when you get into the city of Atlanta, around like East Side, Gresham Road, Bankhead, you'll really start to hear that country accent. And then like when you go east towards like the coast, like Savannah, all that, you'll hear like a whole different accent. So like, if y'all hear how we talk, I don't think we got an accent, but if y'all hear how we talk and come down here and hear how they talk, you'll be like, wow, like, yo, yeah, I ain't country, son. These the real country people down here.
Yeah, it's like people that was from the city, man. People may get upset about this, but like they were so stuck with people in the city, they never heard how people talked outside of the city. Because only New York City has a special accent. So, like, when they was like, yo, y'all niggas sound like y'all from the South, I was always confused because I have family from the South. I got family from the Midwest, and their accents were way stronger than anything I ever sounded like. Like, people from Rochester sound like what you see, like, people on TV sound like. Like that quote-unquote American accent.
Regular as hell.
Yeah.
Regular as hell. But like, look, for example, I transferred from UB to a school called Clarion in PA, and it's an hour from Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, I say that's a northern, southern city. Because if you hear how people from Pittsburgh talk, you'll be like, yo, like, are y'all from the north or like y'all from Alabama? Like, they got the most Alabama accent you ever heard. And like people from Philly, they sound like, New York City. Y'all all New York City, Philly, Boston, y'all close, so y'all all got your own type of accent. But if you go to the west, I guess it's just a eastern coast compared to like the western part of the state type thing. We all have our different way of talking, but yeah, like Cable says, so we got the TV American regular accent.
That's grassroots, real American dream, America accent.
That's it. We basic as hell. Basic as hell.
That's 100. So what made you guys come to Atlanta?
Man, I wanted to be in Atlanta from my sophomore year at UB. There was a senior graduate, and he got a job offer out here and just was talking to me about all the stuff he was getting ready to do and all the stuff with black young people that are doing positive and great things. And then just the opportunity, so that got me beginning to get excited. I knew I didn't want to stay in Buffalo. I knew for sure. I'm from Rochester, New York. I didn't want to move back to Rochester, and there's so much more world out there. So Atlanta was like a great opportunity in the sense that like there's a lot to do here weather wise. Though we don't get hurricanes and all that stuff like that, we don't get winter going crazy, and it's easy to get a whole bunch of other places in the country out of Atlanta. So when it came time to look at different places to be, like, I really wanted to be here. So it was about 6 years from when I first had this idea in Atlanta and actually moving. But I always had it like kind of in my heart. And I made the transition actually last year. I just hit a year here in Atlanta about 4 or 5 days ago. So it's been just over a year I've been down here.
For me, I originally come straight down to Atlanta. Me, a couple other UB athletes that ran track. I play football. We went to Alabama first, Alabama A&M. Cletus, he went to school at Grambling, so we don't really mess with Grambling like that because the whole SWAC thing. But
SWAC love is a real thing, but if you ain't Grand fam, you ain't nothing.
See what I'm saying, son. But we went down there, we trained with the track team. I was getting fast for football. They was obviously getting they track work in, and so then I ended up leaving to go to Anderson, South Carolina for my indoor football season, and they stayed in Bama, and then they moved. Darian moved to Atlanta first, and Bones, my man's Bones, they part of the track team.
Wow, shout out to the fam. Bones is out here too?
Bones back in Buffalo.
Okay.
He was in Bama, and then our coach got a new job in Southern Illinois University. So Bones, he went back to Buffalo. Darian came to Atlanta. I was in South Carolina, but I pit stopped in Atlanta after my season. Chilled on the east side of Atlanta. I was like, yo, bro, I'm not going back to Alabama. I don't really want to go there. The coach about to leave, so I'm about to just kick it here in Atlanta, and I'm going to just train here. So Alabama was 2 years ago. I've been in Atlanta for a year now, so that's why I'm down here, pretty much just training. And then now I'm transitioning. I'm still doing football, but at the same time I'm working on a couple other things, obviously business wise, because I'm low-key tired of training and shit with football. Like I'm getting tired of this, so I'm down here just working, seeing what I can do, and that's about it.
That's 100. And Caleb, you here for your MBA, right?
I'm actually doing a Master's of Science Administration or Organizational Leadership.
Fire. That's lit. So, the reason why I really wanted to have this podcast is, Caleb, you are an interesting person. I've known you since I stepped foot at UB. You've seen me grow, progress. You've seen me as the loud, maybe some people may say obnoxious, rambunctious, over the top, well dressed freshman that just be lit at the parties. But then you also see me, evolve into a young man. Thanks. So it's kind of like I feel like you have a really, really good sense of understanding who I am and the things I do. So that's really why I want to have this podcast. But as well as you are an example of what I feel black men should be like. Because bro, I don't want to put your business out there, but I don't know many men who are 20 something and still virgins. I don't know many men who swear they love God and actually believe and live the lifestyle. Niggas will be in the church, a part of the church, do everything for the church for the wrong reasons at the cost of the church.
Right.
Not you. You know what I mean? You've always been 110% about what your God-given responsibility is to the kingdom. If you always stood by it, not just by the things you say, but the things that you do. And my question is, how have you been able to stay so steadfast in that? Because it's not something that everyone can do.
Well, first I appreciate that. As you said, it's crazy. We've known each other for now 7 years.
Yeah,
and that's a long time. Mm-hmm. And it has been really interesting to see you grow, our relationship change and morph, and then just the different changes I've had. How I've remained in my convictions. So my parents, they pastor a church in Rochester, New York, New Wineskin Ministries. And so basically I grew up in the church, but it wasn't until I went to college where my relationship became my own. And I made decisions when I was 16 about how I plan to live my life and things I wanted to do in my life. And that one, you mentioned earlier about me being a virgin, is that I decided that my wife was going to be the only person I was going to be with when I was 16. And, I just heard different things about sex and different things about marriage. I saw both my parents they've been married now for 28 years. And, I've seen the beauty in relationship, beauty in marriage, and beauty in, what it's like to be just with one other person. And I wanted that. And so I still want that. And it's just the only reason why I'm haven't been with anybody is I'm not married. Once I get married, it's a wrap. Once I get married, bro, I made this joke. I'm gonna have to have 2 honeymoons. One is just gonna be we're gonna be somewhere forget it, rent a room, and then bruh,
straight kids,
bruh. Rams. I am telling you, bruh. Just pray for my wife. Just pray. just pray for her.
Yo,
just pray for her.
What I could think of, remember a 40-year-old virgin? The first time was like, dang, like, hey, forget this part. But the second time, like, my son went nuts, nigga. That's all I could think about with Caleb. So, like, yo, he about to just knock her out in the park.
I got a question. How do you deal with it? Like, I know a lot of people, man, they can't do it. I know people just pure sex addicts, man. I know people who just, they enjoy that. That's where they get their balance from. How do you deal with not wanting to have sex with people?
Okay, so let's get this clear, because some people don't understand. I definitely want to have sex.
Of course.
It's just that I have decided that I will not. So I use this analogy. So Cletus, you've been a lot of places. You traveled a lot. Mm-hmm. What's one place you would like to be at, but you haven't yet gone to?
London.
All right, so you love to go to London. You haven't been there before. How often do you think about London?
From time to time.
So what are your memories about London?
The music, the culture, just the swag, how they dress. You know, that's really mostly it. I just like the music and the culture.
But what are your memories of being in London?
I've never been there.
Okay, so do you miss being in London?
No.
Exactly. So that's exactly how I look at sex. Is that like, since I've never had it before, I think about it from time to time, but I don't have any memories of it, so I don't miss having it.
Man, I'll take it to the extreme point. It's like if someone gets you mad and you be want to kill somebody, but you never killed nobody before.
That's a fact. That's a good analogy for me.
Yeah,
right? That's a good
you
one.
Mad as hell. You want to deal with somebody, but you know you can't do it, and you know that it might cross your mind, but you know that's just not for you.
Right.
Not yet. Anyway.
Not yet to kill somebody,
Not
though?
yet to kill somebody, but like I haven't been pushed to that point that I make that decision.
You never even killed the person in the first place. So you don't even know
So
how that
you
did
really don't know
feel.
what
Yeah.
that like. You just think it might be what it is, but it's not what it's all cracked up to be.
The whole point of the analogy, though, is that it's one place I still want to go.
Right.
It's some place I'm looking forward to being able to go. And so, but because it's a place I've never been, I don't miss it because I've never been there. I don't have any memories of ever being there. But I know it's a place I would love to be at. And when I get there, I'm going to enjoy it. And so that's how I look. That literally how me being a virgin is. Like, I don't have no memories of nobody, so I don't be thinking about it. It's not something that ever crosses my mind. It crosses my mind what it'd be like to have sex, but it's not like, oh, bro, like, I'm horny now. Like, I need to find
catch
somebody.
your body. And like, nah, it's not my concern.
Hey, I got a question, Caleb.
Go ahead.
Don't shoot me, son. You be beating your meat?
I have.
Oh, my nigga. Okay. I thought you just ain't know what the whole feeling felt
He
like.
thought he'd be sleeping, just sleep it off.
Just leave it, bro. I'm about to say, okay, all right, bro. You really missing out, bro.
Poke the fuck out your back, just sleep it off. Just sleep it off. Nah. Okay, that's fair.
I commend him, son, because that's tough.
That's
low
very
key. That's
hard,
real
man.
tough.
There's men that can't control their sexual urges, and that's why they are in the positions they're in. I remember seeing something on social media about the minute that a man can control his sexual urges is the minute he can control everything else. And a lot of men don't have that power. They cannot succumb. They fall short to their vices daily,
Right.
multiple times, and then they wonder why their whole life is in disarray.
Right. I mean, and even the thing is, see, one day I will get married, right? And I plan on being married to only one person. I don't think that most people go to get married and think, oh, I'm gonna just be with a whole bunch of people. And so what happens is when you enter into marriage and you've been used to sleeping with a whole bunch of people, but now you're saying I'm gonna just sleep with this one person for the rest of my life. You haven't even been practicing being with one person anyway, because you've been with everybody or whoever you or however you felt. And I'm not saying that, I don't go off and try to say people are wrong or right in what they do. But I'm saying that there's a certain level of wisdom that can be displayed with people wanting something but not practicing having that. People that play basketball, you don't say, I'm just going to, score and shoot. Like, I'm going to shoot well, but never practice shooting at all. But I just go plan and get in the game and I'm going to be a good shooter because, I don't watch somebody else play basketball. And a lot of people do that in relationships. They look at other people's relationships, but they never practice stuff in their own life. And then they think that because they saw how someone else did it, they can just do it too.
So then I'll ask this question. How do you know when you marry somebody that the sex will be everything that is cracked up to be, that the wait will be well worth it?
Well, I mean, I don't have anything that I have to compare it to. So if I had nothing to compare it to, then I wouldn't know that it's good or bad. I just know it is what it is. Yeah. And in the hypothetical best situation, if both of us hadn't been with anybody, we would have nothing to compare it to. we just would have each other and we can just continue to work together.
Good job, Caleb. That's some good thinking,
I'm
son.
so glad
That's
I'm
some
doing
good
this
thinking,
podcast,
son.
bro. Caleb, like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I said, you are a really solid person, and the reason, like, I'm so happy to do this because I don't think people give you credit for how solid you really are. Like, one thing I can say about you is that you've been always super consistent and super ambitious. Like, I know there's times that things don't go your way just because of life, but you still find ways to be super positive, and you still find the ways of accomplishing goals despite negative, negative. What's the best way to put it? Negative impulses, I guess, or external factors that affect what you do. So how do you stay so positive?
Well, see, I heard somebody talk about haters one time, and they're like, if you think about what your haters are saying, you're giving them too much energy. Like, you're thinking about your haters. Like, I don't think like people say haters are my motivators. Like, I'm not being motivated by people that are not pulling me or pushing me for, like, they're not helping me go forward. So I literally don't think about the external problems longer than the finding out what it is. So sometimes, like, you know, once somebody presents this is something that's negative in front of me, then I, you know, think about it in that moment. But I am so focused on where I'm trying to go and the things I'm trying to accomplish that I don't even have time to spend on what is not going to help me.
And you know what? We spoke about this too because we know who your haters are. We're not gonna give them too much energy, but I just for me, I be looking at people like, man, you don't understand. Like, yo, all this energy that you're putting into my life to try to derail my blessing, you don't even know you're really burning your blessing by not even aligning yourself with me.
Yeah, absolutely,
True.
Absolutely.
And then I hate the selective like hate. Like, if you're gonna hate something, hate it across the board.
all.
Like, if you're gonna hate a rapist or you're gonna hate a pedophile, then hate the person who's like 50 married a 20-year-old. Hate the person who's like 80 marrying a 15-year-old. Hate everything. Hate it all across the board. Don't
Not
just hate
one
it.
person.
Or hate it that when black people do it, but don't hate it when your grandfather did it.
Right.
Bruh,
Right.
you just spoke a whole mouthful right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you hate rapists, but you don't hate the uncle that touched you? That touched your kid? Because that's still your uncle?
That's your family. You don't want to speak on that.
But everybody else's business, you okay with saying how ain't shit they are and how fucked up they are.
That's a fact. The thing is that, like, people don't like to be completely honest with themselves or with how they interact with the world. So because of the fact that they don't always know how, or they don't always know how to grapple with some of the weightier things in life, it's easy to kind of project at somebody or something that you know, might be it could be, it might not fight back at them, or it might not challenge them truly to look at the mirror of their situation. And I think that's what happens sometimes with why people aren't always honest and consistent.
That's real shit. You got anything you want to add to that or not? Because I know you know who his hater is.
Oh yeah, yo. I had this convo with Caleb, so I listen. Because I'm gonna speak on this. I told Caleb I want him to speak out. I want him to speak because I got his back. Because me and Caleb, you know, same city, but we two different people. Caleb, it's too much. I don't want to put that on your podcast.
Where you from?
Yeah, so I told Caleb, speak out because I got your back 110%. And I'm talking about like this, I'm going to a whole nother level with having his back. So that's why I told Caleb, I don't want nobody speaking on him and he just sit back, and because then that's going to make some people, except for the people who know him, other people who don't know him going to be like, oh, dang, maybe this is how it is, or it is true like this. Like, nah, son. But, you know, he got his haters, but he doing his thing. Caleb the man. It's my dog. But he got one thing that we got to talk about.
Talk about it.
One thing, so this man Caleb, right? My boy Caleb here. It's this young lady, right? Who interested in him.
Word.
But Caleb, you know, he doesn't want to go forward because he's not in the driver's seat. So basically, since he's not shooting his shot, he's like, I don't know. Because the girl out here on her Kobe, LeBron James.
Gotta let them things go.
Yeah, he like, he Patrick Beverly right now. He playing defense on him. He playing defense. I'm like, yo, she trying to get on your team, bro. He you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let Caleb speak on
What's
it,
going
man.
on, brother? Why you not trying to let her bless you?
So, all right. So to give some background, I'm out here in Atlanta where we're making all kinds of different moves and links and things of that nature. I'm part of this workout group that meets on Saturdays in Peachtree at Pond City Market. Shout out to my man Irv and Peculiar Workouts. So we meet at Pond City Market, run to Piedmont Park, and first time I pulled up, this girl that Jaron's talking about, she was there. And no, I've been on this whole like just getting to know people type of thing. So like I'm introducing myself to everybody, and somehow at the end of the workout, because she was like the last person to finish every sprint, all that stuff. I didn't get to talk to her at all, but she just started talking to me, asking for my IG and all this other stuff.
Is she dusty?
No, she is not dusty.
Is she fire?
She's cute. I can show you. I can show you what she like.
Let me see the flictures, please. I need to see the flictures, please. But Jaron, is she a vibe? Is she a vibe?
Well, I never seen her. Well, I did see. Did I see her? I don't know. I don't think I did. I don't know. But what he explained to me, I said, "Yo, could you mess with her?" He said, "Yes, I can." So I said, "Okay, so you gotta jump in the car so you can see if you will or you won't. You just don't know until you try." He like, I don't know, man. I'm just he got in his little turtle shell, you know. He went back inside the shell. And I'm like, yo, Caleb, bro, you might be blocking, you baller blocking yourself, bro.
It said God first, bro. How you not knowing that this girl was God sent? How you not know, like, bro? Like,
and she went to his church. He told her. Did you say that?
I didn't say that.
Yo, he told her what church he go to. The next day, she pulled up to the church, bro.
Shout out to my brother from Rochester, man. He don't even know the face. He don't know the name, man. That man got a horse in the living room, man. Nah, she fine, bro. What, bro? Is she a graduate? Is she a thought?
I don't think so. I don't know that. I don't know that much about her.
Well, we in Atlanta, bro. If she a thought, she a thought. Caleb won't know at all. Won't nobody. We all won't know, bro. So only the fellas on her Instagram laughing at Caleb gonna know if it is what it is. But you know what I'm saying?
Is she a man before? She don't look like she ever been a man before.
No. That's another thing. Yeah, we gotta test that theory out too.
Definitely not.
We definitely gotta test that theory out.
And I met her sister. She's a twin.
She got twin sisters.
Oh, what's up, son? Yo, Caleb, you my dog, man.
She got twin sister.
So they look the same. So she wasn't a man.
That's what I'm talking about, Caleb. See, yo, so what you think Caleb should do, man?
I say pull up, bro. She not ugly. She God first. She finding joy in the journey. # put it on a shirt. Find joy in the journey.
Y'all boys is something else.
Like I said, she don't look like she's out here. You know what I mean?
And she pulled up. The main thing, she pulled up to this man's church the next day. She didn't even go to that church, son. He said, "This is where I go." The next day, she came through. Caleb out here baller blocking himself, son.
I mean, so the whole y'all going a whole way.
My fault.
The thing is that like I just don't like Jaron said. I did say that like I'm not in the driver's seat. So usually because I'm so intentional, like I'm so like once I decide I'm trying to talk to a particular person, then I move toward that person. But I do a lot of observing and like kind of background research on somebody, and so I have done a little bit with her, but I wasn't looking for her. And so the fact that it appears that she's interested in me, I'm like.
But ain't that how usually the best things in life kind of appear, especially if that's not like God's blessing? Like I have this thing I call God's sense of humor. So when I have a child, I'm probably gonna name my child God's sense of humor. Like, straight up, because I feel like it's like a joke. Listen to here, it's like a joke. Like you won't get the joke until later, but when you finally get it, it makes you really laugh. Like, and it's like that laugh, like damn, that's funny as hell. And I think that's probably what you're going through right now. Like this whole time, you probably been looking, seeking, and it's not for that. I think in the Bible, I'm not like I know the Bible, but I'm a little rusty. It's like if you seek me and find me with all your heart, you will get some good things. It's something along the lines, right?
Yeah.
And it's the fact that if you seek, and then it's like if you seek Him, you've been seeking Him, right? And you're trying to find, you've been going and pursuing God this whole time in your life. You've been steadfast with Him. Maybe this is the way God's going to reward you. You move into this place after all the tragedies you went through. You be in these different spaces, and now you find somebody who wants you for you. Why would you not appreciate that?
I mean, I appreciate it. Trust me. I definitely appreciate somebody being interested in me.
So what's the issue?
It's like I said, like
he ain't shooting his shot, bro. He not used to not shooting his shot.
I'll be real with you. Maybe you're not really the guard. Maybe you're not supposed to be the shooting.
You're not Steph Curry, bro.
Right now, your team needs to be something else. Because at the end of the day, you gotta think about where you are in Atlanta, man. The women run the city.
That's a fact. There's a lot of less of us.
the women run the city, and she obviously knows you're a good man.
Yeah,
we need this, Caleb. This is the second day in a row we're talking about this, so I'm glad you came to get some insight, brother, because you smarter than me, low key. You know what I'm saying? So I speak from a common sense, from the street pavement knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So you smarter, you elevated.
I come from the oppressor's mentality.
Yeah, bro. You know what you're talking about.
I've been indoctrinated.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my gosh, y'all boys is something else. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with getting to know her. I have, I have gotten.
Do you like her?
No, I do not. I will not say that I like her.
Do you find interest in her?
And this is another thing that kind of concerns me about her, is that I'm very, and as Cletus knows, like Cletus has known me for like years. Jaron's known me for years too. I don't stay stagnant. Like, I am not somebody that's just like waiting for stuff to happen. I'm always on a move. Like, if I'm doing something, there's probably something else I'm neglecting doing to do what I'm doing. Like, I'm always doing something. And so sometimes I have conversations with her and she doesn't seem to be like that much moving forward. And so like we had different conversations where she just trying to kind of figure out herself and things of that nature. And I'm like, okay, like, that's cool and all that. You got to figure yourself out. But I don't know if you should be relying on me to help you be moving forward. Like, I want to be with somebody or be pursuing somebody that is also running too. Like,
but let me ask this question: if that person running fast, they're running strong, do you think they really need you to run with them?
No, they don't need me to run with them. But we can add to each other. It can be so if I'm running fast, she's running fast. Now we're running together. That's that much more power.
But I get that. But if I'm a great runner, if I don't really need you to challenge me, you're not really adding to anything. Whereas with this person you're dealing with, there's some way that you can add to her, and there's something that she could probably add to your life. It works. Like, if you ever look at the yin and yang and say you gotta take the good with the bad, but within even the yin and the yang, there's a little bit of good in the bad, and there's a little bad in the good.
Right.
So maybe this might be your good and bad, because for the first time in your life, you're not the guy that makes all the decisions. For the first time in your life, you're gonna find somebody who look at you the way you looked at yourself from your inside. And now you having somebody that actually could show you who you are from their perspective, because you only know you from you.
It's true.
And now she's gonna show you who you really are from her perspective. And I think that in itself could be a blessing. I think you gotta let them walls down, brother.
Like see what I'm saying? Cletus smart, y'all. I wouldn't have said none of that stuff. What I'm about to say is, it's like gonna think like a man with the girl, right? Who's a good business person, and the dude trying to be the chef. That's the same. She already moving forward, doing a bunch of other things, and then she tried to mess with the dude who's doing the same thing. They didn't even work out. But she do with the chef, and her, he just like the girl, and you the girl with all the business moves. They worked out in the end.
Well, look at this. Look at it like this.
Perfect.
Look at it like this.
Watch movies, man.
Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, both by themselves are great, but then we see what they put when they're together. They're that
Belichick
much.
Belichick was trash, low key. Belichick was about to get fired before,
but he still had the ability. He still had the ability though.
So she doesn't.
She don't got ability.
I didn't say she didn't have the ability, but like at the same time, like Bill Belichick is out here pushing forward.
Bill Belichick was about to get fired.
He did get fired.
Yeah, so I'm saying, so Belichick came into a position where someone with the intellect, the drive, the passion, and now look, they got 6 rings together.
That's the point I'm just making.
That's what I'm saying.
So maybe what you need to, what Jaron I think is saying is, maybe this woman is the catalyst for your greatness, and you just not paying attention.
She's the Bill Belichick, and you the Tom Brady.
Or you're the Bill Belichick.
Or you're the Bill Belichick.
And she's the Tom Brady.
One or the other. The yin and yang.
And
not the twins.
It's not. And she's a twin too, bro. Ooh. Let's say, God forbid, one of the things don't work with one twin. Get with the other one.
or we could go double date, right? We go double date to the battery.
We black men. There's an episode I'm gonna put out soon. Shout out to my bro Farron Rush, man. Icon Farron, Rose Rush. You know the fucking vibes, man. King Farron. He has an episode called "The More the Merrier" that we're gonna drop hopefully within the next upcoming weeks. He believes that black men should be polygamous. He believes that we're not meant to be in the space that you only deal with one person. That's more of a European standard of living. Before that, black people, for the most part, black men especially, they had multiple wives because they could handle multiple wives.
I googled that low key. I ain't googled it like the human part, but I googled the male species in general, and the majority of the male species like on this earth are polygamous. You know, like, but we obviously human, so we be able to elevate and we evolved more so we could think with one person. But that's what they said. Nature for the male species is a polygamous relationship. Like, there ain't no man and woman. It's man and woman, 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 woman. That's what I looked up. I said, wow, that's crazy.
So maybe like I said, what I'm saying is maybe it's, you know, maybe you know, you might have to
you saying I'm supposed to be a polygamist?
I think you just gotta take it as it comes.
You gotta go to India for that, brother. India.
Well, for anybody who's listening, I will not be a polygamist. That's not gonna happen.
Is it against God's will?
For to be a polygamist?
Yeah.
The God had designed one man and one woman.
He designed them, but they ain't say that they're supposed to be together forever.
Yeah, it was.
Only one and one. Wasn't there kings in the Bible that had
many wives?
Yeah.
So just because, that's the thing that people like to have an issue when they have the Bible. Just because something exists in a certain context in the Bible does not mean that was what God's will was. So Solomon, for example, had 1,000 wives. That was not God's will for him to have 1,000 wives. In fact, a lot of what Solomon did was against the will of God, and that's what kind of ended up having him no longer be king. For another example is David. David went and had a whole child with a woman after sending her husband to the front line, to get killed. Like, he was supposed to be out there. He was not gangster for that.
Oh, my bad.
He was a coward for that because he was his people. So back in those times when a nation went to war, the king was out there with his people that went to war. The fact that David was out of position at all, and back in his kingdom when his people were out fighting, was already out of position. So then when he went and got with this woman because she thought she was her whatever, and then was like, she got pregnant, he's like, oh, I'm gonna send your husband back to the front line to basically get killed. Like, that was cowardly. That was cowardly. And and then David, he writes in Psalms, he's like, created me a new heart that I like. He's like, basically like, Lord, like, I messed up. I should not have. Yeah, like, I should not. Like, he fell on his face, and that was what's so fire about. What is fire about David though is that, like, he made so many mistakes, but he always got back up. You would appreciate this analogy. Is that like a running back, like, when they get hit and they're always falling forward. And that was David. He would always fall forward, but he would never stop. He would get back up. He would always fall forward. So just because there's a lot of things that are in the Bible that people miscontextualize. And so just the fact that there were things that existed, there were men that had multiple wives, and we see that a lot in the Old Testament, which was the Old Covenant, and Jesus came and fulfilled the Old Covenant, and now we are under the dispensation of grace. There were men that had a bunch of wives. Yes, that's true, but doesn't mean that was what God's will was for his people.
So you 110% believe every word that's in the Bible?
I believe yes.
So you don't think anything is fake in the Bible?
No.
You don't believe religion is a tool that's made to control men, especially specifically black men, black women?
I believe that religion is. I believe religion is. That I believe people use religion to make people do what they want to do. I think religion and relationship are two different things. Religion is a set of rules that someone decided you have to follow to get to some higher level of life. But a relationship with God is just like a relationship with a person. I don't think you have to be extra deep or extra like quaking and shaking and all this other time to have a relationship with God. I don't believe that because I know my relationship with God. Like, I talk to him like I'm talking to y'all. All the slang, all the ebonics, whatever, like, because that's how I feel God talks back to me. He talks back to me just like he's like
a brother.
No, like, he talks back to me.
Brother.
But see, the thing is that, like, I believe he talks to, like, the uptight white person the same way, like, because God is relational. And so what people do is they put him in this box and they try to make him what they want him to be, and that's where the control comes, because you're trying to control God, start trying to control people.
And you know what's crazy? Shout out to one of my homies from the UK. He said something to me that I thought was rather fascinating. And now his podcast, snippets are gonna come out. We gonna collab with Critical. Shout out to Critical. He said that he thinks that a lot of people who love God, they misread a lot of stuff in the Bible. Like, he says, like, man is created in the image of God, right?
Okay.
And when he says man, he's not talking about just you, Caleb, or just you, Jaron, or just me. us as a people,
Right.
like the body of Christ, the body of God's bride, right?
Yes.
Man, meaning you, me, all of us together. The unity, the one functioning body is what is the image of God.
Right.
Us aligning together to work and focus and unify and love each other as we should as people and live in that world peace ideology that everyone tries to have. That is God. The people coming together in one unison as the bride
Right.
of Christ. That's what God would want for us. That's what God looks like.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. So where is it that people are taking it the wrong way?
I think everything. I feel like everyone's religion is different.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's religion is different. Whatever you put precedence into, or whatever you worship or you value is your religion.
I agree.
So people like in America, the official religion of America is capitalism.
Agreed.
You know, certain other places are like probably more collectivistic. The religion is the relationships they have with other people for their family to become something of some kind of value.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people are individualistic. Their religion is themselves.
Yeah.
They worship themselves. Some people will come from poverty, so any kind of money, their religion comes to looking and keeping up with the Joneses rather than actually having it.
Right. I agree.
I feel like that's the issue. So I think what comes is like people come to a point in life that they just appreciate and accept that whatever they have and whatever they can get and the things that makes them happy, their physical bodies happy, is where they should put their most energy and efforts and not really realizing like the work that God has in store for them.
Right. I mean, I think it's because people don't necessarily know how to know God is real, that it's easier to, be locked in on individualism or whatever's right in front of you. So, you listed a whole bunch of different things, and I agree. America doesn't have like a quote unquote official religion. And, some people like to try to do this thing where they try to say America is a Christian nation and built on Christian values and stuff like that. I've made this statement before on my social media, and I said America is not a Christian nation. It's a nation with a lot of Christians in it. And the reason why I say that is because you look at a lot of stuff that happens in America, like that's just not how Christianity even will work. It's just so many things are going against Christ. And so it's not to say that Christianity, and I'm not even making an argument. I do believe that Christianity is the way to go, but I'm not even making an argument that it is the way to go in this space. What I'm saying is that America is not a Christian nation. That's simply it. Like, I'm not saying it's a Muslim nation. I'm not saying it's a Jewish nation. I'm not saying it's an atheist nation. I'm saying simply that people like to try to harken back to that. Christians say this all the time. Like, it's a Christian nation. We should be doing this because we're Christians. I just wrote a paper about spirituality in the workplace. And they were asking, should workplaces enforce certain religions on their people? And I was like, in my paper, my argument essentially was they shouldn't enforce anything, but the only thing they should force is the availability for people to do their prayers and to have whatever time off they need to for their religious functions. Other than that, the workplace should not be trying to push anybody's specific religion unless you are a church or unless you are unless that's already where you operate. There should be no reason why a regular secular organization should be pushing a specific religion.
No, I agree completely. So, wow, this is deep as hell.
Told y'all, man. Caleb smart. I ain't saying nothing. Caleb the smart man. He the smartest one in the house, man. All right, Caleb the smartest one in the crib. I'll be watching cartoons, bro. That's it.
So I guess I want to take a step back and I want to talk more your family dynamic, right? So you say you raised two pastors. How did you, what does love look like in that home? Because I don't feel like a lot of people don't know what real love looks like. And I think someone that has been raised in something like that, like, I'll be real with you, even my home was a broken home. You know what I'm saying? But I know what love looks like because I seen it in so many different forms but by so many different people. So my question for you is, what does love look like to you?
Cool. So it's interesting thinking about it because I think about so many interactions growing up. And I recognize, that, like, my growing up is very unique to a lot of people. I recognize that everybody didn't grow up like I did. My own father didn't grow up like I did. He is the son of a single mom. My grandfather left the family. My grandma with 4 kids. She worked in a factory 30 hours a day. Like my grandma worked in a factory for 30 years, working like 15, 16-hour days. Damn. And my uncle and my dad and his sisters, they like basically raised themselves. And you ask what love looks like. Love is like my dad being in his dorm room when he was in college, thinking about how his dad didn't come, but he was like, my kids that will never be their experience. So I'm 27 now, and I just talked to my dad yesterday. Like we have whenever I think to call that man, like I can call that man. Like he will answer if he's busy, he's gonna hit me with a text later, like, yo, I got you when like we can talk. My mom, we talk every Monday, like that's her day. Like she be trying to sneak in on the calls on my dad on other days, but like Mondays, she already knows. Like Monday, I've been doing that since I went off to college, so we've been doing this for almost 10 years. Every Monday, it's a conversation with her. Love is like my parents have kids in 3 different states, but they drove to move in everybody to their apartments. They drove 10, 15 hours to everybody's spot to make sure that it was good before like when we first moved in. They checked out everything. Love is like the commitment between my parents is that they wake up in the morning and my parents talk before my dad goes to work. Lunchtime, my dad calls the house, talk to my mom during the middle of the day. Coming home from work, calls her again, just chop it up a little bit. Gets in, then my dad always says, "Oh, how's your day?" And so I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, bro, y'all been talking all day. What do you mean, how your day? But see, the thing is that like I see how intentional they are about their relationship with each other. They are 28 years in, and it's like, yo, that's my best friend. Like that's my fan, that's my girl. Like my dad absolutely above all any person on this planet honors my mom like no other. And that's why that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about how I've been able to have the honor to see a beautiful and healthy relationship in lieu of somebody who didn't even get to see a man in the house.
Gangster.
My dad never saw a man in the house at all, but for him to be able to honor my mom the way he honors my mom, like she wants for nothing, and he is her biggest she has her own company, but he's her biggest cheerleader when she's doing her different events. Who's front row? Do you need to take my dad's not even a DJ, but he was the last event I saw him, he was on the computer trying to figure out how to DJ her event. Like he's like, yo, let me figure out how to do something, because he's right up front and center. Like that's my girl. And the same thing for her, the same thing for him. Like when he's doing, my dad's like a senior director at his job. Corporate events come up. My mom, she's part of her business. She's a fashion designer. So anytime y'all have ever seen me at an event, a formal event, it was always created SV style. My mom is fire, bro. She's making moves. So if y'all in Western New York, SV style, you already know. But she will have him nice. They just did a photo shoot, actually. The two of them, they were trying to get some like more headshots for the church. She will have him on point. She elevated him, and this is like why I'm so intentional, but who I would choose, because I've seen a woman that wasn't looking for nobody, that was about to make moves, and then I know a man that he is committed. He is a man of integrity, and he is a leader. And he's a man, he's committed. So I see that, and I want that for myself. I'm not playing like, I don't believe that marriage or relationships are no games. I think people don't really, and like I said, when I started this monologue or whatever, soliloquy, when I started talking, I said that I recognize not everybody has this experience that I do. I recognize that. And so because of the fact that I recognize that, I don't try to make people feel bad for their experiences. I just try to speak from where I'm at, and I try to encourage people in where they are. My big thing is that like I want people to be the best and maximize who they are, where they are, to go forward to where they can be.
I ain't gonna lie, I need to find that kind of love. Hashtag Caleb's parents. Hashtag I need that Caleb's family love.
Fathers, SV Styles.
I need that Caleb's family love. Okay, because I feel like even in our people, we so stuck in seeing the negatives in our relationship dynamics that we don't see some of the things that maybe might have worked, and we don't understand like why things are the way it is. And that's why I feel like you have a lot of haters too, because they can't grapple around how your anointing is your anointing. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
I'm not perfect. I am not perfect.
It doesn't make sense for you to not long for the things that people die over. I get it because I'm raised in that household. My mother's a praying woman. I know that if you know me, like everything about me has always been working through truth. I know my Bible. My mama will tell you, she's like, man, you think that boy don't know God? He know God. I know my God. I understand how the game kind of goes. I just am trying to understand it, not so much through my own understanding. I'm not leaning on my own understanding, but I'm trying to utilize it in a way that can help people that I'm trying to reach. Everybody's ministry is not meant to work for everybody.
Facts.
I could be in the trap saving souls. You can't do that.
Right.
I could be at the strip club blessing women with dollar bills, and next thing you know, she going to church thinking about the dollar bill that specific dollar bill had touched her soul.
Oh my gosh.
But because I ain't gonna lie, I've been in the strip club talking to these women, and because that's really what they are. Strippers are expert manipulators. They know how to speak they know how to speak well. So when they get to a certain point of vulnerability, there's only so much that costs them, because that mask can stay on their face.
Right.
Until they feel you for real. So it's like
they be getting me, son. That's why I stopped going. I'm proud of you. That's why I stopped going, son. So yeah, you keep getting them, because they just gonna keep using that mask on me, bro.
So the thing about when God has plans for people, if you ever play like video games that you could drive, like the driving games, you always realize that you go the fastest when you stay on the road, versus if you driving off the road and things of that nature. And so it's similar to how God has like a plan and like a roadmap for people. And the thing is that some people start doing what they want to do and they get off the road and it hinders them from their destination. And people want the whole plan. It's even another analogy is like looking at like anybody who's ever had used a GPS. Like you only see the next direction. You don't see the whole, you can see the whole map, but if you do try to ride the whole map, you're going to run into what's in front of you. So all you need is that first direction, and then that follows you and you will get to your destination. And see, what we try to do is because we're so engrossed in what we feel like we want to do that we end up missing what God is trying to do. And what God is trying to do, like I just thought about it the other day and I posted it on my social media, is that I have never done anything that God says to do and thought about it after and been like, regretted it. Like I've never done anything that God was saying to do and afterwards regretted it. I've done things that I wanted to do and after like that was not a good idea. But I have never done anything that God was saying to do and afterwards I was like, you know what? This probably should have done this another way. And we have our own plans and our own desires so much so that we end up getting lost and we being way over here and the God's road is way back. But the greatness of God is that just like a GPS, it doesn't say go back. I mean, it may, but like for the most part, it is saying recalculating. And that's exactly what God does. He recalculates. He'll get you from where you were and then get you back on the road to still get to the destination that you had.
Might take a little longer, but
it might take a little longer. The road conditions may not be what they would have been if you were on the right lane. It may not be the experience that you would have wanted it to be. But God is so good that rather than just throw you out like, oh, you ain't following my directions, till you get back on my road, you can't do this.
Yeah, don't work.
God will recalibrate you. He'd be like, all right, you over here, and he meets you where you are to point you to where you're supposed to go.
I ain't gonna lie, Caleb. When you become a pastor of a church, I'm gonna. That's a fact. I ain't gonna cap.
Oh my gosh.
I'll be a deacon in your church. Cause my mom been telling me I keep running from God. I don't know what she talking about. But I know talk ain't cheap, man. She created a God, so I know. She know good things somewhere.
Oh my god.
But
I'm not trying to be nobody's pastor, man.
Why not?
Man,
I'm gonna tell you why. Let me tell you why about
You
talk to Caleb. Nah. I'm gonna tell you why. Just from talking to Caleb, being in the same crib as this man. We gonna be there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's why we gonna be in church, bro. Cause when Caleb get to talking, this man he be making some good points, but this man gonna stand. Then on another more too. I told you I ain't no smart man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no book smart dude. Caleb be using some big words, bro. I be like, Caleb, I don't even know what these words mean half the time, son. But yo, he'll be a good pastor though. For the educated and the long-winded.
Oh my gosh.
The reason Caleb was educated and long-winded. Hashtag educated and long-winded. That's crazy.
I'm not even gonna touch how I communicate my words. The reason why I don't want to be a pastor, my dad has been a pastor. My parents have been pastors for 20 years. I have seen, I know so much about what being a pastor is like just from being a pastor's kid. And that's a lot to deal with. Yes, you be in church, at everybody's service. But even aside from that, there are people that will literally tell you they're going to do something for you. And then it's like they throw you out like they never even knew you. There are times that my dad, I distinctly remember there were times that people, they called my dad in the middle of the night. Oh, my son's getting taken away by the police or whatever. My dad will pull up. My dad will go to the jail or whatever. And then those people just never show up no more. It's like, bro, my dad has he got 5 kids, a whole church, and a full-time job. And y'all never have anything to say anymore. It's not to say that, my dad is out here asking for people to acknowledge him. It's not even the thing at all. My dad is literally out here trying to serve. Being a pastor is like a calling. And I don't believe I have that calling. I really don't believe I have that calling. And I'm not saying that I'll never be a pastor. If God got that for me, then
it's gonna be what it is. Bro.
Yeah, right now I gotta get this degree, get this money, and I do serve.
To that girl.
Now I do serve, bruh. I do serve in my church. I go to Victory World Church here in Atlanta. I serve. I teach 3rd grade children's church. So I do serve. I'm active, and there's not a job in my parents' church. There's not a job in that church I have never done. I've done everything.
Was Kanye at your church today?
No.
Kanye was here today. I don't know what church he was at.
Kanye was not at my church.
He was here today though.
I will say though, there are artists that go to our church. One of our pastors is Montel Jordan.
Whoa.
Wait, that's your church?
Yes. Montel Jordan is one of the pastors.
This is how we do it for the Lord. This is how we Shandanaya.
Bruh, you should see him when he do.
That's how he got him from church.
Oh
God.
Yo,
I was speaking in tongues the whole time. We just thought that he was being
He was in the church.
Yo, y'all, I'm telling you, man. Our church is something else. And there are different people that go there, but yeah, Pastor Montel is over the music ministry. He's a music executive, and they got the music is crazy out there, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Next time you pull up, man, you gotta pull up to the service with me on a Sunday, bro.
I do got a question for you because I know I'm looking at the time because I gotta catch my flight and shit.
I can even take you, bro.
In first class, bro. I already know your first class flight.
Nah, I'm in the back about 34.
Oh, they moved first class to the back?
Nah, I wish. My time is coming though. I see God's hand work in my life, man. And like I said, y'all tune in Talk Ain't Cheap. Just keep that in tune. You know what I mean? Y'all know the vibes. Y'all make sure y'all follow the brand at Talk Ain't Cheap Network. Cletus_Real Talk. Y'all know the brand be like butter. Everybody can't be butter. That's why there's margarine. That's why there's. I can't believe it's not butter.
Ta-da.
Oh, they don't even know about the time. When I pull up on the scene, she like ta-da. You know what time it is. But no, just to keep things on track. Why do you feel like a lot of young people and I don't know if that's something to say, but I'll phrase it in a better way. Some people say church is boring to them. Right? You see people, they'll go in church and they fall asleep, but they'll go to Kanye West function and stay up all week.
Facts.
The whole time.
Facts.
Why do you think that is?
I think it goes back a lot of it to that religion stuff. So a lot of churches, they have a set schedule of exactly what's going to happen, and they're going to do it this way and only this way. I think there's no creativity. There's no freedom. There's no opportunity for people to be more involved in what's going on in the church. I think that when you are more involved in what's going on, or you can see yourself in those different spaces, then you are able to enjoy being in that and being in church. Because I don't think church is so much the boring thing. I think it's stale. Stale churches can be stale. I don't go to my church anyway, and even my parents' church, that every Sunday was exactly like the Sunday before it. It's we would be doing all kinds of different things. Some Sundays, man, bro, there was a Sunday my brother preached. It's like, oh, you got something to talk about? All right, go ahead. And that kind of stuff keeps people engaged. The fact that you realize you can share, bring your talents. The reason why people can be lit with stuff is because a lot of our generation is all about the hype and the litness. Stuff is lit, I'm with it. And the thing is that no one ever, in general, thinks church is lit. But the interactions that I've been having out here in Atlanta, the Christians I've been running to, they talk about, not just in my church, but some of the churches they go to, it's like, yo, this joint is lit. Because people are out here free to just be them. Like for example, Jaron wearing where he wearing right now, he can pull up in my church and this is cool because he's here. But somebody else's church like, oh, you gotta take your hat off. Oh, you gotta do this. You gotta do that.
That's a fact. That's how my church is back home. Like, they be like, you gotta wear your suit. I go there, I don't wear the suit. They're my peoples though who preach. They be like, wear your suit. I be like, that's just me right now, but I'm here though. But the church here that I go to, Schaefer Road Church of Christ, like they just, as long as you in there, you as long as you in there, you good to go with them. Then the preacher, on the boring part, like he out there making, like, it's not stale. He making jokes, like he makes it more relatable to everyday life with people. So
and that's
like
the other part.
So it's more creative with him as well. So
y'all think I should become a pastor for real, man?
I mean, Black Youngster he able to get people married now. He able to get people married now. So
whore.
Yeah.
It's
so
your husband, that whore.
Yep. So you could do that.
Bitch. I mean, if God is really calling you to that, because trust me, being a pastor is a calling, because you are going to see spiritual attacks like you've never experienced before. You think you've been attacked, you are going to see something on a different level by being a pastor. You just the grind of it at all is different. You're gonna have to seek God in ways you haven't had to before.
They're gonna leave your church if you don't give them money to go to Paris. I've seen that before. Yep. Not Paris, Africa. But back home, right, these people was like, I need help getting money to get back to Africa to visit my peoples. And they're like, yo, we can't do this. The church ain't balling. And they left the church.
Yeah, I mean, being a pastor is, it's like I said, it's a calling. It's a calling. And I don't think, and people have this idea about certain pastors and certain types of spaces. I'm like, that's a minority of pastors. It's really not. There are literally thousands of pastors in this country. Mm-hmm. And most pastors are not pastoring a church with 10,000+ people.
Yep.
Most people are pastoring churches with like 50 people or less.
Mm-hmm. Consistently,
and then people like to talk about these pastors taking money. It's like, bro, like I said, back to the 50 people or less churches, there's not even enough money to take.
Yeah,
these pastors are working for free. They have no salary, but yet they are putting in hours like it's a full-time job or more. And so, and people really out here thinking that these now, I'm not saying that there aren't pastors that are really stealing from the churches. Like, I know of these situations. Trust me, like I said, I've been a PK for 20 years. My parents, when I came out the womb, my dad was already a minister at the church before that. Like, I've been in this thing. I had no more. I promise you, I almost want to challenge. I almost put a challenge out there that somebody would know more background stuff in churches than I do.
You should write a book.
I literally wrote a book, though.
I'm saying keep it anonymous and start snitching.
Wait, I ain't. That would be fire. I think that, you know what, we gonna put this here because it's your idea. I really do think they should have the real church mates, real church members of Atlanta. I think that's as hell. I think that the real pastors of Atlanta be crazy. I think I need to find a way to get Juanita Bynum, Creflo Dollar, all them niggas in that bitch, and really try to really follow them, see what they really be on. Because I think that I believe that. Because you know what, I'm gonna tell you, and it's gonna get back to, because I'm gonna come back to you in a second. But you know what, the really issue I have, like, sometimes with church is like, and there's people in general, it's like everybody be praying for good things to happen for them for their own selfish reason. It's like, God, I know life has been bad for me, but I need you to bless me and bless my heart and bless my account. Everything I touch tells it to go. I give you glory and honor and praise. Thank you for who you are. But God, make sure I'm valid and my family's good. I'm like, that's cool, but I feel like that's so selfish.
It is.
A lot of that stuff you're praying for, you can create for your peoples.
It is. And I think there's a space in praying for those things. But I heard something the other day where someone talked about, like, if you were to, like, not exist anymore, were the prayers that you left, would they change anything? So if basically what they were trying to say is that, are you always praying for yourself? Because if I'm praying for if I'm praying for people down the street, or if I'm praying for, this nation, or if I'm praying for, my school or something like that, I'm looking to see change in other people's lives. So when I'm not here, my bank account, my car, my house, that is gone. So all those prayers were just for me. But if I was praying for you or praying for Jaron or I'm praying for the next person down the street, I'm praying for God to do things in your life and other people's lives. So those prayers can still continue to see growth. The seeds that I've planted in prayer can then germinate and grow in other people's lives. I do believe that people are stuck in praying for themselves. Like I said, I think there's a space for that. Like, especially if you get sick or whatever, like, Lord, I declare healing over my life. Those types of things, I do believe that there's space for that. But I don't believe that you should be, I believe that God, first off, people don't pray correct in the first place. We go to God asking him for a whole bunch of stuff, and God is not a waiter. God is not like here waiting to take your order. God has a plan for your life, and you are to submit to what that plan is. And so if anything, your prayer is, God, the way I pray now, I ask God, what do you want me to pray about? What are we talking about? And bro, some of the people that I've been praying for, like people that drop in my spirit to be praying for, I'd be like, I didn't even think about this person.
Yeah.
Why am I praying for them, bro? Like, like you want to stay submitted to what God's plan is. Like, not even trying to throw nothing out about Drake, but like, stay submitted to what God's plan is. Like,
no, I'm already in tune. That's real shit. So you did write a book. You wrote, what's the name of the book? What is the book about? How's it been going? I want a book. Do you have a copy here?
Yes, I do.
I need a copy. I'm gonna read it on my way back to New York. I'm gonna try my best if I don't fall asleep. But I will get through it before the week is up, and I will definitely try to see if I can get my friends to utilize it in their book club.
Hey. So the name of the book is The Quarterlife Conversation. I wrote it when I was 25, thus the year Quarterlife. The book looks at experiences in my life up until the point when I was 25. Really talking about as a black man, as a man in general. Different things I talk about getting first job, going through college, talk about even this whole discussion earlier about sex and relationships. Talk about my father. Just in using those experiences to and how those experiences helped me get to where I am now. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote the book, released last year. And it's the way it's been going. I mean, it's been a pretty good experience, pretty good reception. Anybody that's read the book, it's been surprising. Some people that have gotten the book, it's like, I don't even know these people, but they've gotten it through word of mouth and things of that nature. I give it to people here in Atlanta that have gotten to know me, because it's like, this is how you're going to really know who I am. And we can kind of accelerate through a lot of the background. Yeah. Here, you can read about me. And so now you're going to learn a lot. And I have literally nothing to hide, because I've already written about a lot of the most frustrating or the most embarrassing or whatever things about my life.
They used to call this man's shoes flip-ups because he had these shoes, right? And they had a crease in it. And at the point of the crease, the shoe came up. So he said the kids used to call his shoes flip-ups. And that was the most funny. I read that part. I started crying. I texted him, like, yo, why do they call you flip-ups?
That's the thing. Like, see, exactly like stories like that. There isn't anything in my life that I have to hide that I haven't already written about. So if somebody thinks, or people think that like I'm hiding stuff, or if there's that, but the heart behind it was, I can be real about me. And that way people can be real about themselves. And so anybody that thinks that they know stuff about me that ain't in the book, man, I'm still living. So there's been 2 years since then, you just gonna have to talk to me about what's going on, because I don't hide anything. It's very transparent. The book is very transparent. I'll definitely get you a copy, Cletus. Definitely. Shout out to Jaron. Jaron was the first person to buy a copy of the book. He was on it like the day it dropped.
So I don't even like reading low key.
That's a fact. Jaron ain't even a reader like that, but he was the first person to buy the book. He sent me the screenshot of the order and everything. And I don't know how long it took him to read it, but he read the book right away.
Hold on, brother. Now, first of all, I know I said I don't like reading. Now, it didn't take me that long to read the book.
Oh no, I'm not even trying to come at you for like how long in terms of you and reading. I'm talking about just the fact that some people, like, it took my mom like a whole month to read the book.
Oh nah.
You feel me? Like, it took my mom. And that's my mom's like, bro, like she was gonna be on it right away. Mm-hmm. So even my grandma read the book. And my grandma, I don't even know what she'd be doing. Like, I really don't know. But, like, she read the book, and I was like, there's some stuff in there I don't know if I wanted you to know about.
No, I'm already knowing. That's crazy. That's beautiful, bro. I'm really glad. Anything else, bro? How are you feeling, man? How's life for you? Where you at right now? What's next for you?
Well, so I currently write a blog called it's called The Soapbox. Similar to, I had a radio show in college called The Soapbox, and so I decided to kind of take who I am and things now and continue. So once again, like, it came from what would be next after writing the book. So now I write a blog called The Soapbox. You can find that at speaksoapbox.blogspot.com. And so what's next, man? I'm gonna be graduating with my master's in the spring.
Congrats. That's big. Welcome to the club, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. I had to make sure I called this man when it was, because that's the thing. When you graduate masters, I don't text y'all. I don't post on your wall. I don't tweet you. I make sure I call you.
It's a different beast because you start seeing niggas change. When you start elevating, I've learned more and more, like, it's not you that changes. It's everyone around you starts to change. They start looking at themselves weird.
Exactly,
and
bro.
They reflected on you. They deflected onto you.
Absolutely. So. You have to. To me, it's not to say that bachelor's isn't. Trust me, undergrad was serious. Real. But when people take it a step further and they're like, "Let me get my master's. Let me go to grad. Let me get a PhD." Like, I honor that next step. And so I was like, nah, I ain't not texting this dude. I'm not posting on his wall. I will post on your wall, but I'm going to make sure that you're going to hear my voice to congratulate you. So I made sure I hit this man. This man walked across that stage for Grambling. My man making the moves. Very incredibly proud of the accomplishments that Cletus has. But if y'all ever get to interact in a conversation with Cletus, if you get to engage with him for a span of time, you know that he has immense potential. He has the power to be in spaces that he doesn't probably even understand or know. And people that are going to be able to interact and see Cletus in these different spaces, their lives are going to be changed. They are not going to be the same. They're going to be elevated, and they're going to see growth in their lives by interacting with Cletus. And so that is why you don't just text somebody like that, congratulations. You make sure that you have given honor to their accomplishment.
Man, God bless you, man. I appreciate you,
Caleb, the realest person on this earth, man. Second to me, though, but it's crazy.
Yo, Alan.
Shit, I was about to say second to me, man.
Man, I'm fine with being second to somebody. I just be being me. I just be being me. That's it. I'm just being Caleb.
Shit, man. I'm so glad I got the opportunity to do this, man. I don't think you understand. I'm happy for you. I wish you nothing but the best. Not even wish. I believe that God will continue to work in your life. I believe that everything that's for you will be given to you times 10 million. I believe that everything that you work towards, you deserve. And you, without a doubt, whenever you decide that you feel if you come to your place of success, I will be there to continue to root and support you and appreciate you like the person I feel like you deserve to be appreciated as. Because one thing about you that a lot of motherfuckers don't give you credit for is that you always supported motherfuckers even before it became their fruition. Until they got you celebrate people's blessings before it even came to fruition, bro. And that shit to me don't ever sit well when I see motherfuckers don't respect it, because it's a lot of niggas that they have around them now that only around them because of the blessing they have now.
Facts.
The blessing never came. These same motherfuckers would never talk to you. So when I see people like you and the Devontaes and the people that I really seen that's been this day when I always seen the vision before the vision was even really crafted, because I'm still figuring out a lot of shit, but you was there since day one saying that, listen, I don't know what your blessing is, but I know that you have one, and I know that whatever it's going to be big. Mm-hmm. And a lot of motherfuckers that you showed a lot of love to, they never gave you that credit and respect. And I'm here personally telling you, in Atlanta, in this place that I don't know called Durville, about 30 minutes from my flight, probably gonna miss my shit, and I don't give a fuck, because you know what, I'd rather do this with you than be anywhere else, because this is a moment that I will never get back, to let you know personally, face to face, how much I appreciate you as a man and as a person, bro. You are somebody's angel. You are a lot of people's angels, and they don't even understand it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Shit, people want to follow you, man. Where can they go and do that?
So Twitter, Instagram, DJ Soap 92. I do accept Facebook requests. So Caleb Vaughn,
even if they're not family.
So I had a crazy situation. Short story. Crazy situation. I had posted in this Facebook group. They were doing prayer for your future spouse challenge or whatever.
Oh hell no!
And so I posted. I just
Christian's going well.
I was like, you know, my friends, they run the group. Shout out to Jamal and Natasha Miller. Like, I did an event back a couple of years, 2014, with them, and so they've been very successful with the Married and Young, their whole ministry. And so I just literally posted like a short letter to my future wife, just like everybody was posting the future spouse stuff. That joint, I woke up, Cletus. My phone was warm, bro. That joint got
like
that joint had 500 comments. It had 3,500 reactions. I had 100 DMs and like 80 friend requests.
Ain't bad.
And they was all from women.
That was your shot right there. You done shot the Grandmaster shot, bro.
That was crazy. I didn't even know people was on Facebook that heavy.
I mean, but you know what though? I'm not surprised by any of it. I'll be real with you. I feel like you are the next like televangelist Pearson I see on TV, bro. Like right now, I'm about to start really looking into the dude named Robert Madu.
Bro, I listen to his messages all the time.
But I don't know how I feel about him marrying a white woman, but that's not my place for me to speak on that. Everybody's blessings come in different shapes and packages. Hashtag put on a shirt. I said what I said. So, but no, like I agree. I think that, you know what, bro, the reason why you're kind of surprised by, you said about me, like I don't know the heights of my blessing. I don't think you understand yours either. And I think that when you really take yourself out of this Rochester sphere, this UB sphere, these people around you that kind of only are trying to hinder your blessing because of only thing they've been able to see, and only they can. That nigga sanctified. That nigga sanctified. But nah, it's really what I'm saying. It's like I think that when you remove yourself from spaces of people that don't want to see you win, and they want to only see your limits, but not see what you can be past those limits. I think when you get in those spaces with people who actually want to just see you cultivate and create, you're gonna really blow everybody out the fucking water, because you are the purest soul, and at the end of the day, you are consistent in who you are, and I think that's your X factor. And I believe that, like I said, I've been saying what I need to say. Ain't really much left to say. Man. But yeah, Jaron, you too, bro. I appreciate you. You got a podcast out, right?
Oh yeah. Go on Instagram. It's Sip Talk 93, SIPTALK 93.
What y'all be sipping on?
Man, we sip on anything. Honestly, you know, I'm a wine dude. You know what I'm saying? I go to QT. If y'all ain't got no Quick Trip. If y'all got a Quick Trip back home, go to the Quick Trip. They got the 2 for $6 on wines, right? It be Douglas Hill. It be something else. You know what I'm saying? That's some good wine right there with Moscato. That's what we be sipping on. We be talking about anything. Caleb was on the show yesterday. He went in depth with his little girl problem. We be talking about all types of things, from relationships to we wanted to do the HBCU versus PWI with Cletus. You know what I'm saying? My son Cletus ain't show up yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We wanted that comment because Cletus was on both sides, and I got, you know what I'm saying, I got my side of the story with all that. So
man.
You know, but we
gonna make sure we make this happen. Let's try to aim for Spell House Weekend.
Facts. We gonna definitely do that.
Spell House Weekend. We could definitely make that happen.
Okay.
Well, so that's the goal. God willing, Spell House Weekend. We gonna put that shit out. But definitely support Sip Talk. I think it's a dope ass concept. In college, I had a concept I helped out with, even though I won't get credit for it, but I believe that's a guy. It was called Sip and Speak. So anything I can do to help add whatever knowledge I put into that program, and the things that I was able to add to that made it a conversation on campus, I would love to be able to help you guys out.
Facts. Appreciate that.
You know what I mean? I would say shit. Take Sip and Speak. Fuck a feeling. You know, take Sip and Speak. Sip Talk is too, and Sip and Speak sound cooler.
Sip and Speak sound cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck everybody, and I'll be your executive producer.
My man. That's why Cletus came over, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why he the big dog. Caleb, he a little dog. Cletus the big dog. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate him so much, man.
God bless, man.
My bad, Caleb. My bad.
I'm just gonna let him talk.
Bad.
I'm just letting him say what he gotta say.
My bad.
Let him say what he gotta say.
Hey, y'all funny as hell. Alright, y'all know the face, y'all know the name. It's your boy Cletus for Talk. Y'all was tuned in to Talk Ain't Cheap. Y'all know the vibes, y'all know the motto, y'all know everything. Make sure you support all the brands. Follow the brand at Talk Ain't Cheap Network on Instagram. We try to boom it. Make sure that it's crazy. So when we start dropping everything else, it's just that go time that we've been working towards. But y'all know it's Talk Ain't Cheap, and it's usually not that deep. It's just a vibe.